baking waters wet, wait again. I'm wearing.
Welcome back to In Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. It is Friday, May the 8th, 2020. And today's show title is the virus or the ventilator the cause of black COVID-19 deaths? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the two cowards who murdered the brother in Georgia, Ahmaud Arbery, getting charged with murder. We're going to talk about a couple of black people getting murked out here in the United States that's not really being mentioned, or their news is slowly bubbling to the top. We're going to talk politics. We're going to talk about Biden and his accusation, gun violence in Chicago. We got a lot of stories we're going to talk about. But before we do anything, we got to bring my man Smoke in. Smoke, are you there?
Yo, you hear me?
You already know it. It's good.
Shit, man, I'm on this new headset. My damn headphones broke. Yeah, but other than that, I think Friday just doing a lot of yard work. That was about it.
Okay.
On furlough and shit today, so I was off. I was just doing a bunch of stuff like that.
Shit, how this corona shit been? How you been dealing with this?
Oh shit, normal shit really. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for me, being in the crib and shit being closed, all that, like the clubs and all that shit ain't really a big deal to me. So, I mean, outside of just my JO, just like doing the furloughs, so I have more time to. I'm actually having more time where I'm not working. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm working from the crib already, so there's a lot of crib time. So I'm just trying to fill that shit with shit to do. There's a bunch of shit I could fix around the crib, or you know what I'm saying? Shit is dirty, the backyard. You know what I'm saying? I've been working on the front yard, so I'm almost done with that shit. So, but yeah, that's all I'm trying to do is just fill my time with things that are, you know what I'm saying? It'll just make my life a little better.
So yeah, me. So I go into work. So ain't shit changing me. Only thing changed is the traffic going to and from work. Other than that, my life ain't changed. Yeah, my life ain't changed too much. But I have noticed that the debate is brewing to wear a mask or not to wear a mask. So are you a mask wearer? I know I asked you this before, but are you a mask wearer?
Or
no?
I was wearing it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't have like the hospital joint. I just had like a little ski mask type joint, a little Nike ski mask type, I was wearing. But like the last couple of weeks I've been wearing out, it ain't been catching my mind to put it on. So it's like I run out like, oh damn, right. So I mean, I just been being out without it, you know what I'm saying? But right at this point, it's like, oh shit, I've been out like 5 times to fucking the store without that shit. So. I mean, it's not like I'm doing a bunch of extra shit, but, at the same time, it's like, the last week or so I've been out, I haven't really been wearing it.
Yeah, I don't wear that shit. I ain't never wear that shit. I ain't thought. I ain't even entertained that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, places where I can't go, like Costco, you know what I'm saying? My lady, she'll go there. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. She'll handle them parts. Well,
you gotta wear a mask in there, so shit.
You said what?
You have to wear the mask in those places in Costco.
Oh yeah, in Costco. Yeah, in Costco, you have to wear it. Yeah, so it's like I ain't wearing no mask. Fuck that mask shit. You know what I'm saying? So, so if I can't go into an establishment because of that shit, then I just won't go. You know what I'm saying? It's all good.
No, I do.
I do.
You
know what I'm saying? Like,
I've been out here. I haven't been to a place that said it was mandatory to wear the mask.
Yeah. Just sucker shit. Don't force me to wear no fucking mask and all kind of shit. They don't even know what the hell is going on like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why so many people dying and shit like that. But then they want to tell you, oh, this is what you need to do. Nah, I'm good. I'm going to use my own common sense. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at that shit. But just to get into the point of the show, I was talking to Kia, my cousin Kia, and she was telling me that the homegirl Mahisa, her pops died of the COVID-19.
Yeah. My uncle just died of that shit.
You see, so...
Yeah, my mom just told me that shit today and shit.
Oh, you just found out today?
Nah, not... Yeah, just like a couple hours ago and shit, you know what I'm saying? My pop's brother and shit. But she had told me like 2 weeks ago or something like that he, you know what I'm saying, that he was in the hospital and that he had it or whatever. But I don't really talk to my pops out of like, I can't really tap into them like that. I got to call this person, you know what I'm saying? So like, my mom, she's talking to my aunts, my aunts and all of them from that side. So like, I just be hearing shit through my moms or whatever. She just told me today, I ain't really even talked to her that long. But she had told me earlier that, this is probably like a couple weeks ago that he, that he had it or whatever, and he was in the hospital or whatever. But, I didn't hear much as far as like exactly the specifics of it or whatever. So, I'll probably tap into that tomorrow.
Yeah, find out the specifics. The reason why I say find out the specifics because I want the stories to be told so we can understand that it's not coronavirus that's killing black people. It's the fucking ventilators. So, with Mahisa's story, with her father's death, my cousin, she's telling me the whole story, the whole rundown. So she goes, he's a vet, right? So, I can't remember, like, the beginning part. Like, I know he worked. But I can't remember what type of work he do. But I know he worked. And he came home from work and said he wasn't feeling well. So he said his body was feeling achy. And he just had no energy. So if your body's feeling achy and you have no energy, what's the next step, Smoke?
You're probably gonna lay down.
So now you lay down, right? And now the virus, the fluid, the mucus in your lungs is filling up. So when the mucus in your lungs fill up, he wakes up the next morning and visibly he looks sick and fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Complaining of breathing. So what's the next step after that?
Hospital.
If you see the person now the next day, they looking like hell, and they complaining of breathing, what do you do next?
Hospital. That's probably what.
Now you go to the hospital now, and the hospitals tell you what they want you to do, which is lay here on this bed. Now they put you on this ventilator, and then once he was on the ventilator, you know what I'm saying? That's when all the complications end up happening later on. They end up dying. You know what I'm saying? Like later on. You know what I'm saying? Probably like a week later, some shit like that. But what I noticed is if you read all of these stories and pay attention to these stories when it comes to black people with coronavirus and us dying, it's all the same story. Once you get off the ventilator, Fred the Godson on the ventilator, right? Last week's show, I talked about a black woman who gave birth. No, I mean, she was pregnant, and they had to deliver the baby early, and she died a week after getting off the ventilator. right? So every time you read these stories, you read the same fucking common situation. It's the damn ventilator. Here's another story, Smoke. 22-year-old Chicago mom and youngest child of 2 city workers dies from COVID-19. A 22-year-old Chicago mother had lost her battle to COVID-19 after spending 3 weeks on a ventilator and struggling to breathe. Nyla Moore, who suffered from an asthma attack around April 10 and later tested positive for the virus, died at Rush University Medical Center on May 1st, according to her family. I screamed so loud I just lost it. It hasn't been the same since. I haven't watched TV. It's just been so sad all around. So we sitting over here. All right, so it goes. Collins Moore said that her daughter was on a ventilator and sedated for 22 days before she died. She said that now, remember this, Smoke, and remember this, Black world listeners. She was on a ventilator which artificially pumps your lungs, right? When this ventilator is pumping your lungs, your organs start to deteriorate because it's not working, right? And she was sedated. You see what I'm saying? She was sedated. So that means nothing about her. She had no control. Nothing about her is working. She's on a ventilator and she's sedated for 22 days. 22 days. Your body's not working. Your body not moving. Your body not operating. The only thing operating is a machine pumping shit. Of course she was going to die. She said that her final words to her child were on the cell phone when she was sharing some encouragement with her. I love you, Nyla. Get well. We got the baby. You got this. She remembered telling her daughter. Her mother said that prior to contracting COVID-19, Nyla didn't have any previous health issues or common virus symptoms, but rather believed that her asthma was flaring up and caused her difficulty breathing. I'm going to repeat that again. Her mother said that prior to contracting COVID-19, meaning the mother really don't even know if her daughter contracted COVID-19. Now reading the story. She's just repeating what the doctors told her. She said Nyla didn't have any previous health issues or common virus symptoms. So she didn't have no symptoms and she didn't have no health issues. She just had asthma. The asthma flares up. She had difficulty breathing. You said what?
Well, the godson had asthma too. You know how that shit.
You see? And now my whole thing is this. So now if we're following guidelines like a lot of them hospitals are doing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And watch this. Nyla, the daughter of 2 Chicago city workers, was a, drum roll please, stay-at-home mother who dreamed of becoming a teacher. So she a stay-at-home mom. I mean, she ain't running around in the street, all right? This is during the COVID shit, right? That means she would be in the crib. She's already a stay-at-home mom. It's not like she was, you know what I'm saying? She's a stay-at-home mom. She ain't out here working. See, we don't understand that. And here it go. In Chicago, that also rings true. Staggering statistics showing that 72% of virus deaths were black patients, despite the city's population only being 32% black. Yeah, because y'all following guidelines. They're not looking and observing. You see what I'm saying? Like I told you, even with the Chris Cuomo situation, Chris Cuomo doctor said you can't lay down. You have to fight it, right? The virus banks on you being lazy. They have her sedated and on a ventilator. So even if she had the virus, she was going to die because you have to fight the virus. You can't be sedated. Now, she goes inside there because of asthma and breathing, and then they slap the COVID label on her and then put her through the COVID death treatment, which is putting you on a ventilator. She not knowing, because the majority of black people don't know the ventilators are the ones that's doing the killing of black people. She don't know this, so she's going to follow suit. They didn't say she was sick in the story. You dig what I'm saying? They ain't say she was sick. They ain't say she was sick. She was suffering from nothing. No, they said she had an asthma attack. She had an asthma attack.
He went to the hospital.
They took her to the hospital, and the hospital said she had COVID. And then threw on a ventilator. They're throwing you on a ventilator. They don't even have another plan B, Smoke. You go there, you have fucking the asthma, you have the COVID shit like that, and if you have issues breathing, they're gonna throw you on a ventilator. Like that's the whole method. Like, come on, this is bug the fuck out, yo. And then they wondering why we dying. Come on.
Yeah, they don't have no solution. It's just patchwork, but it's costing people their lives. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically what they do at the hospital. They just lay you down and try to just keep doing a bunch of shit to figure out what's going on with you, if it ain't something that's obvious. So, I mean, in this case, it's something new, and they're not really doing they're not sharing the information, obviously, you know what I'm saying? It's like just going in, people coming in, I'm on the table, put that ventilator on them, we figure out what we got to figure out later. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounded like. Yeah. So it's like, damn. And it's crazy that, you know, you going somewhere to think that that's the best possible care for you would be the hospital. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking like, well, shit, you know, you got all this going on in medicine. If any medicine come through or anything like that, it's going to be the hospital that's going to be able to administer it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's like the death sentence. It's like a death sentence. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's crazy, man.
Now you might as well kiss your kids. Kiss your kids goodbye.
Yeah. And that's what you're hearing the death at. You're not hearing the stories of the person that just died in their crib. It's all of the people those are the survival stories, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have some hospital survival stories too, but a lot of them is turning out to be horror stories. People going in and not making it back and shit.
I ain't rolling my dice on that. Then, like I said, you got this story right here. This is from May 7th, right? CBS News. Cuomo. This is what Cuomo's saying. Most new virus patients in New York are at home, not working. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said Wednesday that most new COVID-19 cases tracked by hospitals and state over the past few days were among people who were predominantly at home and not working. They were also mostly among people 51 and older. He said that even with everything we've done, there were still 600 new coronavirus cases in New York yesterday, either walking in the door to hospitals or people who are in the hospitals. Let me read that again. He said that even with everything we've done, there were still 600 new coronavirus cases in New York yesterday, either walking in the door to hospitals or people who are in hospitals who are then diagnosed with COVID. Hold on, let me read it. It says, let me read that.
So basically, some people that's in there, or they just coming in like the door and they like they getting diagnosed with like coming in, or people that's already in there. It kind of don't make sense, but
so I'm about to
you getting diagnosed, then you already in the hospital. But I guess they trying to say like new cases. People already admitted and then new cases. That's what I guess. That's what they're trying to say, I guess.
All right, so they like New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said Wednesday that most new COVID-19 cases tracked by hospitals in the state over the past few days were among people who were predominantly at home and not working. They were also mostly among people 51 and older. He said that even with everything we've done, there were still 600 new corona cases in New York yesterday, either walking in the door to hospitals or people who are in hospitals who are then diagnosed with COVID. So I guess they're walking in with the virus or they're in the hospital.
They in there for something else. They in there for something else. Okay.
I've been focused on this number of new cases, Cuomo said at his daily press briefing, that's where our health professionals are focused. Why? Because with everything we've done, closed schools, closed businesses, everybody shelter at home, all the precautions about wearing a mask, wearing gloves, etc. We still have 600 new cases that walked in the door yesterday. The week before that, we still saw 1,000 new cases every day. Where are those new cases still coming from? To try to figure that out, state officials asked hospitals to look at the new cases coming into their facilities. Over the last few days, he said, the data collected from more than 1,000 people over 3 days shows that 66% of new hospitalizations were among people coming from home. 18% were among people coming from nursing homes, and less than 1% came from a jail or prison, he said. A total of 46% were unemployed and 37% were retired. 73% of people being hospitalized were 51 and older, according to Cuomo. So they're saying 46 were unemployed, so they should be in a house. And 37% is retired, so they should be in a house. So these are people that's in the crib. Like I'm thinking they highlighting the unemployed and the retired because it's like they literally have no purpose to be outside, and they probably wasn't inside longer or more often than the one that's working. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But and then they saying who's getting hospitalized by age. The highest is 61 to 70-year-olds at 20%, and then it actually dropped down from 71 to 80 to 19, 81 to 90, 14, and then for that 31 to 40% range is about 8% getting hospitalized. But what happened is he ended up blaming the people. So he says, much of this comes down to what you do to protect yourself. Are you wearing a mask? Are you doing a hand sanitizer? If you have young people who are visiting you and may be out there and may be less diligent with the social distancing, are you staying away from old people? It comes down to personal behavior. Cuomo said, however, that the number of new hospitalizations is continuing to go down, although he reported an additional 232 deaths Tuesday. So, they still trying to figure out why the spread. What everybody else is saying, Smoke, is the reason for the spread in New York probably is because you have so many people inside. So these people are inside, and now their bodies can't fight the immune system. So now, because they're blocked off and isolated from outside, once they come outside or be in contact with somebody, they're easily susceptible of getting the virus. I heard a doctor named Dr. Collier or something. He's the doctor, the black doctor that be on Ricky Smiley's show. And he said that shit before New York Governor Cuomo said that it was 66% COVID-19 hospitalized patients was in the house. He said that before that. He was like, he said that the second wave is going to be worse because all the people that was in the house, once they start to come outside, they're going to get hit with it, with the virus, and their body's not going to be able to handle that. And then we already went through the process with the guidelines. If you get sick, you run your ass to the hospitals, and then they're going to throw your ass on the fucking ventilator, and then you're dead. But we're going to talk more about what you should do and things you should do with the COVID-19 shit in the case that you do get it. You know what I'm saying? I got more COVID-19 stories, Smoke, to bring up and things of that nature. But before we go all the way into that, I wanted to bring up a little of the story of the brother who got murked in Brunswick, Georgia by them two cowards. You know what I'm saying? So the brother name is Arbery. Yeah. So the brother was jogging, minding his own business, and you know what I'm saying? These two cowards chase him down and shit like that. Like always, try to call police and stuff like that, and to justify what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And gunned the brother down. He fought back, which I was proud to see that. At least he was able to get a couple of licks off on their ass. And this was not no cowardly situation where you begging for your life. You know what I'm saying? You was able to fight back with their asses, and then that's that. Now, unfortunately, he had to lose his life. The incident happened in February, you know what I'm saying? And because this is a local situation right here, and the brother's dead, that's what made the hold on. Wait. All right. So that's what made the case go silent, basically. You know what I'm saying, Smoke? Because remember when we went to the concealed weapon class in South Carolina?
Right, yeah.
What that sheriff said you're supposed to do when you shoot somebody.
Get rid of them, basically.
Yeah.
So
they kill them. That way your story is the only story.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, your story is the only story. That's the reason why. And the thing that kills me when it comes to black people is we get caught up and we'll say shit which we don't realize really weakens us as a people. Oh, the reason why they ain't saying nothing is because he's black. And, you know, these crackers and they out here, they killing us and they... No, man. You got to understand how this game really goes. When you go to the gun classes and they talk about that gun shit, this is what the mentality literally is. I shoot you, you dead, I get to paint the story of what happened. When they painted the story of what happened, obviously because this is them protecting them, there's no further investigation. They left it alone. Somebody leaked Yeah, somebody leaked the video. That's how story. Now, how the video got leaked is a good question. The person who filmed it was some white boy named William Bryant, right? And they saying apparently he was the two cowards. Their name is Travis McMichael and Greg McMichael, and they saying that this other coward named William Bryant were following in hot pursuit, chasing down. This is what these cowards is doing, right? So he's filming this shit. Now, this is why I say it'll be interesting to know how the video got leaked, because when the story came out and they're speaking about it and it's garnering attention, there's no video. Then they said the video surfaced. But you know, we're not talking about bright people. We're talking about really dull knives, right? These fools, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't leak it themselves, thinking it would justify the shooting. Because if you look at it, they really like to always show the shit where it's like he's running and then you see them fighting, and then they had to shoot, and it's like, well, we can spin it in the show like, look how he hit it on you, and they like, yeah,
right.
This exonerate us. When it's like, hell, fucking on this, like, are you fucking stupid? No, this does not exonerate you. This is painting us even a more complete picture of this murder. But then because a lot of black people have low self-esteem and low pride in being black and our blackness, a lot of us gave up in the rhetoric. You understand what I'm saying, Smoke? So you'll hear a lot of talk like this. Well, ain't shit gonna happen. Well, you know they're just gonna leave it alone. Roland Martin talking about it's a cover up. See, when I was younger, shit like that, I used to like to think like that. But now that I'm older, I don't think like that. The reason why I don't think like that is because I believe in something called fight. You know what I'm saying? I believe in something called fight. And when you sit there and you start to have this defeatist mentality, and you start saying shit like, because we black, we're not going to get justice, that's how you don't get justice.
Yeah. And now when you were saying that, no, I was going to say, when you were saying that you wouldn't be surprised that they leaked it, I ran across something saying that, an article stating that a lawyer gave it to the local news, and he told the news station that, pretty much that he got it from, I can just read it. It says, Georgia Public Broadcasting reported that Alan Tucker, a Georgia criminal defense attorney, leaked the video of the February 23rd shooting, though he did not say how he obtained it. He told GBP that his firm does not represent anyone involved in the case. According to Newsjack 4, Tucker said he shared the video with the local station, WGIG, which posted the video on YouTube. News 4 Jacks reported that Tucker said the video was given to him by the person who recorded it. So a lawyer gave it to he basically leaked it. He's saying that he didn't get it from anybody involved with the case, but the news people are saying that the lawyer said he got it from the person who recorded it, which would be that Brian guy, William Bryan.
You see what I'm saying? Look, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. But these are stupid people.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
This is an article on Heavy.com. William Ronnie Bryan, 5 facts you need to know. And we talk about, him, who he is, a mechanic and shit like that.
I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if that's what happened. He leaked that shit thinking that would exonerate them. not realizing you incriminated yourself even further. And then we so stupid we think there's not going to be justice. Are you fucking crazy? But see, when you have low self-esteem as a people, as a race, the first thing you do, you start to attack your own people. Oh, we ain't going to get justice because we black. You know how this white system is, and these Republicans. You already know how that. I guarantee you. When this shit play out and play out the way it plays out, I don't want to hear no more of this weak defeatist mentality shit no more. We got to fight. If you find out, because see, this is how we look at cover-ups. Oh, these white boys, these cowards, killed his brother, Ahmaud Arbery, as he's jogging, tells these other white boys, the prosecutors and police and shit, a story to justify the killing, right? They have the 911 call to prove that they at least called an attempt, right? Do the killing, and then turn around and be like, well, here's the story, right? Now, they accept the story, no investigation now, go on with their day. So we turn around, we say, cover up. Nah, it's not a cover-up. That's them playing their side. It's then our turn to do the footwork and the, you know what I'm saying, and the fucking stoking the shit up, you know what I'm saying, to get the attention and things of this nature. Why?
Right.
Because that's what happens when you're in a position of no power. That's what happens. You have to do more. You can't just sit there and not do nothing. You have to do more. We can't then sit around and then say, oh, having to do more is an injustice. No, I mean, it just is what the fuck it is. If we want change and we don't want to deal with that type of responsibility anymore, then you know what we got to do? We got to build an economy where we're making and producing shit, hiring our own people, where we can pay for our politicians, pay for our prosecutors, you know what I'm saying? And then they can work for us. And then if there's a white boy in the fucking neighborhood and you pop his ass, then guess what? Your district attorney, your prosecutors, your police commissioners, your sheriffs, your police walking the beat, they'll turn a blind eye to you too. They'll turn a blind eye to you too. We don't get it because we don't want to do it. But everybody does it. But we don't want to get into that type of power. We're scared. So we complain. You know what I'm saying? Every time it happens. But I'm just like, yo, learn the game. Figure out how that happens. Create your own town. Create your own reality. Create your own safe zones. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So that's how that goes. But they have been trying.
Crazy, man.
And we're going to see how it plays out. And when the shit play out the way it play out, you know what I'm saying? And I want us to stop being on this defeatist mentality type shit where we always feel like because I'm black, I'm supposed to lose. And I'm supposed to lose because I'm black. Hell
that heavy article I was just mentioning, one of the facts it also says in there is that William Bryan, he could be heard cocking a gun in the video. So he submitted a video where he was clearly, he trying to get a piece of the action. He knows what's going on. He going down here. He's trying to film it. Something. They probably gonna share that with the boys over there. Oh yeah, look what we did. Look what we got. You know what I'm saying? He cocking a gun in the video. So, this is the intelligence of the people that we be up against. You know what I'm saying? That we be pretty much just not fighting. You know what I'm saying? We just lose to them. But this is the intelligence level. This man got a gun. He's playing in on the action. He cocking a gun on it, and he submitted that shit to a lawyer to give to a fucking TV station, which now broadcasts the story everywhere, and now they in jail for it. So these are the intelligence levels. So when you see our people doing that shit, just understand it's just dumb people in general. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just black people. It's all these motherfuckers.
Exactly. Right now we have a caller calling in right now. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Yes, sir. How are you today? This is Brother Mike from Asia. How are you?
What's going on, brother?
Yes. Regarding this coronavirus, right now we have over 4 million people worldwide infected, and we have over 400, close to 400,000 people died globally. But this coronavirus, unfortunately, it doesn't have recognized race, color, religion, creed, etc. It's a worldwide event. But I am agree with you. In North America, majority of the 40 to 50% of the patients are died, which is right now 80,000 range. In United States, so about 40,000 were African American, indeed. The problem is United States is a global pandemic. We are not having a global response. We are not like China right now is making supposed to be a vaccine, and other countries, Israel, is making a vaccine, and United States is put $8 billion in Pfizer to make its own a vaccine for it. So, this is not a global response. Yet, this will take time, at least up to 24 months, to make such a vaccine, if any. And number two, first of all, any country who makes the vaccine, India is supposed to be making vaccine too as well. So each one of these nations, about 12 nations, they succeed, say in 2 years, they are giving it out to their citizens first. And then later on, gradually they will give it out to other countries or nations. And so this is going to be 36-month event or plus. What do you think of that, sir?
Well, I think that, obviously the vaccination and the medicine and whatever to try to, it's going to take a while for that. But just to get back to the point, what country, state are you living in?
Singapore. Right now it's 9:49 a.m. May 9th, 2020. Go ahead, sir.
All right. So you said you're in Singapore?
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this. So do y'all use ventilators out there?
No. In Singapore, we have first we had very minimum amounts of infectious or the people who were infected very much less. But we put our guards down in Singapore, and as a result, we open up and we brought international flights back to Singapore. So as a result, what happened?
So the people that's dying in Singapore, what are they actually dying from? Is it health conditions?
we have, I give you a stats right now, sir. Our summary is active cases for this today is 1,245 people, hospitalized 1,223 stable, hospitalized critical 22, isolation facilities 18,402, and discharged 2,040, and death is 20 for the whole Singapore right now.
And the death is 20 people died?
Okay, sorry.
You said 20 people died? You said 20 people died in Singapore?
I think you said 20.
Yeah, from 18,402, people infected, only 20 people died. Yes, sir.
So 20 people died from the 18,000 cases.
Right. And y'all don't use the ventilators for your COVID-19
in the hospital.
People.
In Singapore, we have, of course, we use first oxygens, and then CPAP, and then, we use a higher antibiotic rate, and then we go to remdesivir, which is Ebola virus. Ebola kind of medicine for it, and then we try other things. That's why 22 people hospitalized critically so far, and the total is 18,402 in isolation facilities. So we have about, 19,000 people infected.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That's a low percentage.
Yeah, and the thing out here in America is, when it comes to the Black Americans, majority of the people, when they have COVID-19, the hospitals put them on the ventilator. And the ventilator gives you an 80% death percentage. So that's why the numbers are so high in America, because we have a weird guidelines that the hospitals are using. So they're, in my opinion, the hospitals are the ones that's killing the people, because they're putting everybody on a ventilator. In every case in America, especially with Black Americans, everyone who dies were on or just came off of a ventilator. So
absolutely,
that's why
absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what's going on in America now. Yeah. So do y'all? So what other? Do y'all use any type of treatments out there? Do y'all use any natural treatments?
Yes, we use of high dosage of vitamin C and also magnesium. Also, shot of the vitamin D also to the patient. And remember, this is pneumonia. We already had the coronavirus SARS.10 before. So with the SARS.10, we took care of it very good. But this is a SARS number 2.0 or COVID-20 is better understanding for the people than, say, COVID-19. COVID-19 is, I think, is past. But COVID-20 is more sense that the people can understand it. But this COVID-20 is mutated 40 times already. And the scientists in Iceland, they came to conclusion. And also, that was 4 weeks ago. So by now, probably is 800 times this virus mutated. Right now, Russia is under the siege right now. Russia has the highest rate also and highest rate of the death in Russia as we speak. So, because it gets a different, each string gets higher and higher and higher. And so really, there is not available any kind of vaccine they can make for it. because something which is mutated is very hard to make a vaccine. Okay, you can make a vaccine for, say, 800 a mutation of it, but by the time you release it, it will be 1600 mutated. Right. So what about those 800 ones, new ones? So there is no end or beginning, or there is no beginning and end. Go ahead, sir.
So are y'all still practicing social distancing in Singapore, and do y'all wear masks out there also?
Yes, here they give us masks. Every week we get six masks, N100, and also we get gloves, and also we get social distancing. I mean, we respect, we compliant in Asia more than you guys. I mean, not. Right. I know you do, but in North America, people don't do it. Sorry to say that shit. Crap about it. And as a result, it will be 80% of Americans before election or shortly after election will be 80% of Americans will get coronavirus, and will be millions of deaths in the United States because people don't give a crap about anything compliance. And everybody say it's a hoax. Everybody say, oh, this is belong to, just they try to put you, to sit home and social engineering and bullshit and like that. But it's not a thing because India, 1.4 billion people were given, and they renewed their curfew for another 2 weeks, and they said again we may do it for another 2 weeks. So India is under curfew. So I mean, right now totally about 5 billion people, under quarantine. But in Sweden, which they had the lowest rate of the coronavirus, now suddenly they got picked up because they did not quarantine. They did not follow. They said, well, Sweden, this is Swiss. Everything is good. They are not nobody's immune. So right now, Sweden has over 400,000 cases and lots of people in the hospital right now. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I know Sweden had a lax response to the whole virus and things of that nature also. I have another question for you. Where do y'all say that the virus originated from?
Okay, origination of this virus is very tricky because we know that it was started in Wuhan, China. That much we know, but not necessarily it was started. It could be started from China, whether it was nature or it was also maybe it was created, by bolides. I don't know if you know that. Bolides are, around November, there were 2 meteors or bolides coming from other galaxies, like 8 billion years or 10 billion years away, light years away. So they were exploded on the, Wuhan. So very well, this could be came from outer space as well too. So I mean, there are so many theories, really. I mean, right now, nobody knows who did it or where it come. I mean, we know it started from there, but not necessarily means it comes from there. So I mean, that's something to think about. What, sir?
Yeah, because I just figured, because if being that you're in Singapore and I'm in America, different information is going to be in different areas. So the information that we have, we're pretty much indoctrinated with it. So it is curious to know how is it being interpreted and spoke upon in another country, in another part of the world. So that's why I asked you those questions and stuff, just to see, if there's any new information or information that's being said outside of America that, isn't being said here in America. So that's pretty interesting stuff. That's pretty interesting. But and what is the weather out there? Do y'all believe that the heat could do something to the virus?
I mean, this virus has 10 stages. I mean, we went, especially, we are going up, kind of we go down, and then again it will go up by end of July, August, September, October, keep going up, and that's why 80% of the citizens in North America will have it. And the problem is why they don't testing it each other, people, because they say there's nothing they can do. I mean, even if you're test positive, what they can do for you, for example, if you're test positive, but I mean, it's good to know that the person is positive, so they will be more extra careful than it's like an AIDS virus or TB or tuberculosis or any other one. I mean, if you know it, that you have it, is so you will have more consciousness, and at least you can be isolated, or you can, at least once you go, if you go out, which I have a doubt, but I mean, then, it's for your peace of mind. But right now, around the globe, they have tested like over 4 million people, and 4 million out of 7.5 billion people is not enough. We need a global response, global pandemic it is, and until we don't have, capabilities, we have the capabilities already. 4 months, August, November, December, January, February, March, 5 months. It passed away, and we did not do the global testing. And we know that President of the United States said their administration, they do tests every day. But what about the people of North America are not tested? How come they have the luxury to do it, and we don't have the luxury to do it, for example? Go ahead, sir.
That's right. Well, that's just how it is in North America. That's just part of reality, And that's why the only thing that you could do at the end of the day is just say, start to. You just got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. You just can't rely on the government. You can't rely on anything else other than that, basically. And that's all I try to explain to people, And again, when it comes to the COVID-19 situation, a lot of these deaths, especially when it comes to African Americans, is due to these ventilators. And I think that with the ventilator situation being removed, a lot more people might respect the social distancing and the mask wearing within the public. But what happened is there's so much misinformation on the airwaves and contradictory statements. So that's where the people are rebelling at. So now the unfortunate part is now we have to sit back and wonder if this rebellion going to cause a second wave, or if this is just going to be an overreaction. Continue.
Yes, indeed, the second wave is coming, and because in China right now we have second wave, Chinese newspaper actually wrote, Chinese Times, it was written a few days ago and also last month that there is a new case of this coronavirus that stays with you for 50 days, and you will not have any kind of symptoms or anything. And then once it hits you triple hard. And so basically, we have to. I told you earlier it has been mutated because the United States coronavirus is different from Swiss coronavirus or Sweden coronavirus or Italia coronavirus or anywhere else. I mean, each place has its own coronavirus that is mutated. Some places very high, some places maybe lower end, and so as a result, we see a lot of different amounts of death in every country and amounts of infection. But once only less than 1% of population, 2% of population, and not even 2%. I mean, we say it's just 1% of the world's population being tested. Really, you cannot say anything because 99%. What about the rest?
Right. So one more question before I let you go. Bill Gates' involvement in all this whole virus stuff, and what is your view about Bill Gates?
Well, Bill Gates himself, everybody, as I said, they want to try and make the vaccine for it, because whoever gets the vaccine, that nation will get the first vaccine to their citizens first, before even it goes to global, because, like remdesivir, the Ebola, treatment, that's supposed to be work, but still doctors around the globe, they contradict each other's. But that costs $9.35, but in United States, the treatment is $4,500 for the hospital.
Right.
So you see, whoever make that virus is basically not has a black gold, which is oil. Oil is nothing right now. Oil is minus 40 right now, minus $40. They pay you money with the ship, say, take the oil anywhere you want. We don't care.
Right.
Just take it out of our oil fields. And so basically whoever makes, so Bill Gates, he has the money also contributed, and so he likes to make the vaccine. But I'm telling you, vaccine is a big question. Nobody can make a vaccine out of something is mutated all the time. I mean, flu, even. They keep giving you flu vaccine, and then you get more sick right after it. So that flu vaccine, that doesn't mean any crap either. So if, like something for coronavirus, until this not mutated, then they have to make something, and yet it will be a long time with us. This coronavirus is going to be a long time with us. It's not a matter of today, tomorrow, 10 years from now. It's a long time. So somewhere from here until long time, I guess somebody will be able to make vaccine, if any possibilities, because possibilities are, of course, infinite, and therefore making a vaccine is infinite also. So if something is infinite, how can you make it? That's the problem. That's the issue, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. And I appreciate the phone call. And call some more, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe and all that. Go to the YouTube in Black America Radio. Subscribe to the Blog Talk, you know what I'm saying? We up here every Friday or whatever. But I appreciate the call, you know?
But
yeah, so you know what? There's something that he said that makes a lot of sense. It's just like the flu shot. Every time they always have to make another vaccine. Why? And it makes better sense now because it's constantly mutating. So that's why they always have to have a new flu shot. Yeah. So they're not going to be able to have a vaccine for the coronavirus if it keeps mutating like that. So once you're listening to the news and stuff like that, and they're telling you, oh, we're going to have the vaccine by this, we're going to have the vaccine by then, this medicine to do it, that. This is a total different beast. So we just got to sit back and really watch and pay attention, you know?
So, the thing I was thinking about, like when he was talking, like, the hustle behind it, because, like, you know, he was saying that they don't use the ventilators in Singapore. You know, here in America, when you go to the hospital, they charge you for every single thing. You know what I'm saying? They charge you for... You got to get a needle, the medicine in the needle, whatever. We charge you for everything. So them putting them on a ventilator, that there's a charge attached to that also. So I'm just wondering, like, is that just to tap into that charge? Because it's like that's no part. Listening to the guy that just called. They're not using it in Singapore, and the death rate is nowhere close. So it's just like, is it just like something they're doing to tap into the insurance company like they always do? That's what we do, because it is obviously not part of anything that's recovering people dying from it. So is it just something that they come in, we're gonna run you through all of these tests and all of these machines and shit like that? We can get, instead of getting 2,000 a person, because we can just give you some vitamin C shots and tell you to go home and, you know what I mean, or whatever. We can make this a $10,000 visit or a $20,000 visit by putting you on the bed in here, putting you on this ventilator, giving you all this other shit, and then, at the end it's profit. I mean, shit, I don't know if death counts against a hospital, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to lose funding because somebody died or something like that. So I don't think that's going to count against them. So it's just that was the one thing I thought about.
Exactly, and this is America.
America is a capitalistic society
already. And if you text Snopes or whatever like that, and if you type in, do the hospitals get they just said Roy Horn of Sigford and Roy dies from coronavirus. Let me read his story real quick. I'm gonna see what's going on.
Hold on, before you go there though, the one thing I was thinking about, I was kind of remembering, is we always we always have to remember how propaganda works. You know what I'm saying? How fucking the news works. So you hear how his perspective or what's going on in his country, how they view the country here and what's happening and things like that. It's always different. It's always perspective. So you always got to watch this media here and how you bring in the information, or at least, research the shit that's going on, because, the perspectives that we get in are generally different than what you hear, outside of America. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I was over here reading this shit, trying to figure out which one he is. Was he the one that got bit up by the tiger? But yeah, it's just weird because when you really read the white ones, they don't really talk about the ventilator like that. There's pretty much dotted like complications, or if you've seen some of the old people dotted complications, and if you've seen the unhealthy people died of complications. But then when you're looking at others, like a lot of the young people, if they're on a ventilator, they died because of a ventilator. Nothing else other than that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's wild to me, But I seen another story that was pretty interesting, talking about Tanzania. So this is another May 7th story from Reuters. Africa Disease Center rejects Tanzania's allegation that its coronavirus test faulty. The head of Africa Centers of Disease Control and Prevention on Thursday rejected an assertion by Tanzania president that coronavirus tests is supplied are faulty. Tanzania government spokesman said a team was conducting investigations on the laboratory that conducted the test, and the outcome will be made public once complete. The World Health Organization expressed confidence in the test. The World Health Organization expressed confidence in the test. Now, here's the backstory.
Ooh.
The World Health Organization is no longer funded by America and just got heavily funded by China. And then the whole controversy between that is that, they're playing, the World Health Organization is playing second to China type shit. That's the how that story is being played out. So they say that shit now, right? So boom. Where's the story at? All right. So then they go, all right. So obviously they're going to say that it's all good, right? On Sunday, Tanzania President John Magufuli said the imported test kits was faulty after they had tested positive results on a goat and a pawpaw, among several non-human samples submitted for testing. And here's what's funny. And you know what's funny, Smoke? I already said Canada then sent testing back because of faulty stuff. Other Asian countries, other places sent back testing kits because they said it was testing faulty. And the doctor on Ricky Smiley's show, Dr. Coyer, said he had a test and he saw a patient. This patient had all the symptoms for coronavirus, tested the patient, and the testing said negative. Other places said the shit was testing positive, and people was like, yo, I'm not sick.
Yeah, Charlie's friend, she a nurse, and she was sick. She had all the symptoms of that joint. Went to the hospital, did the joint, the test. She don't got it. She had all the symptoms of that joint. You know what I'm saying? She don't got it either, according to the test. She had everything.
Sure.
So now, tiredness, all of that shit.
Now, when Tanzania say the test kits is faulty, everybody want to say, no, y'all bugging. But multiple countries said the same shit. Previous shows we spoke about this. The next day, the head of the National Health Laboratory in charge of testing was suspended. The president did not say why the authorities have been initially suspicious of the test. The test that Tanzania is using, we know they are working very well. John Nkingasong told journalists. The Africa CDC, along with Jack Ma Foundation, a charity founded by the Chinese billionaire. Right? Huh?
The Alibaba? Ain't that Alibaba?
Right, that's Alibaba, yeah. That's Alibaba.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So a charity founded by the Chinese billionaire. So I'm going to read it again now. The Africa CDC, along with Jack Ma Foundation, a charity founded by the Chinese billionaire, supplied the test. in King Gazong said, Ma, founder of Alibaba Group, has donated thousands of test kits, masks, and protective gear to African nations, and the equipment is being used across the continent. No other country had made public complaints about the testing. Public complaints about the testing. Meaning, don't mean they ain't complaining about the testing. They just ain't public about it. They could have moved the box to the side and said, we ain't using this shit. But they ain't out loud said that shit. Because other countries
the hustle is on.
Something wrong.
The hustle is on. People just pretty much, the hustle is on. People, these places is just packaging shit together and selling these shits to companies making bread. And it ain't even a product that works, you know what I'm saying? So we spoke about the mask and shit last week. You know, it's like pretty much people spending on shit that's not even gonna work for you if indeed this could, you know, if it has to work in the manner that it should work in, it's not gonna work. So you're spending your money for that, you know what I'm saying? So these testings and these kits that's being sent to countries, it's not free. It's not free, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the hustle is on and shit. Jack Ma getting his bread. It's crazy.
Getting his bread up and shit. Because, you know, like I said, this whole power play now with China and America is an economic power play on who's going to be the number one economy. And when I become the number one economy, I rule the world. So is America going to let, because England is dead. England been dead. The child of England is America. So it's time for America to shine bright. And America is slowly falling. And China is, you know what I'm saying? It's feeling like, you know what? I think I can beat them. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening right now.
In position, they in position. So.
Yeah, but it's all positioning. Speaking of positioning, China will bar international investigators until final victory over pandemic is achieved. Speaking of positioning, right? Speaking of positioning, China's ambassador to the United States revealed Wednesday that China will block international investigators from examining the origins of the Wuhan coronavirus until final victory over the pandemic has been achieved. The top priority for the time being is to focus on the fight against the pandemic until we win the final victory. Chen Zhu told reporters when asked about the status of the World Health Organization request to study the origins of the virus. The WHO's representative in China said last week that the Chinese Communist Party has blocked repeated requests from the organization to investigate, while Wu added that China is not allergic to outside probes. He admitted that for whatever or how the invitation will take place, we need to have the right priorities set in at this moment. And on the other hand, we need the right atmosphere. The CCP has been accused of covering up the origins of the virus, with multiple reports detailing the timeline of Beijing's failures in slowing the initial spread, including one study that found China could have prevented 95% of coronavirus infections if it had acted sooner. An intelligence dossier compiled by the Five Eye Intelligence Agency of the United States, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the UK levels multiple accusations against the Chinese government, including the suppression and destruction of evidence. The genome sequence not shared publicly, the Shanghai lab closure for quote-unquote rectification, academic articles, subjected to prior review by the Ministry of Science and Technology, and data of asymptomatic silent carriers, quote-unquote, silent carriers, kept secret. China has counterclaims of wrongdoing by claiming it is a, quote-unquote, victim of disinformation and trying to shift the focus to a conspiracy theory that the virus originated in the U.S. Peddling disinformation and recrimination are by no means prescription for international anti-pandemic cooperation and should be rejected by all, the Chinese foreign minister tweeted last week. So you already see, again, the Chinese is literally fighting. Like, literally, what you're watching right now, America, is America and China boxing. Trump and Xi boxing. You see what I'm saying? And they're fighting for supremacy. And that's what's happening right now. Economic supremacy.
Yeah, kind of like,
don't
back up.
Yeah.
Don't come over here with that right now. We let you know when we gonna let you know. That's crazy. That's power, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got the upper hand.
See, but they got the upper hand on the land. You know what I'm saying? They got the upper hand on the land. So it's like, and what I mean by that is like, America is like brick and mortar. But the American, corporate America, you understand that analogy? So
yeah, you basically saying like, oh yeah.
No, say it.
No, I was just gonna say like the you know, like we saying like brick and mortar, that's like the factories and shit like that. Is that what you trying to say? Like they have the upper hand in that regard. Production.
Well, yeah, because it's like even if China decide, okay, we're gonna fight to be number one in the economy, right? And we're gonna be the one to police the world, and we're gonna be the one to try to make sure, you know, diplomacy and do all the shit that America was doing. You know what I'm saying? If you think on a back in the day scale, stereotypical scale or whatever, then America is still going to be like, well, shit, we'll make money corporate-wise. That's why they're trying to get into the Chinese economy. We'll make more money corporately through Starbucks. We'll get money corporately through, you see what I'm saying? That's like the internet, where we don't need to be loyal to a country and to a people. We can be global now, where everybody drinks Coca-Cola globally. You see what I'm saying? So as long as I own Coca-Cola, I'm powerful. Fuck just America. But then we the people, you dig what I'm saying? We under fucking Chinese rule. So it's like, yeah, so at the same time, we still have to rise up above that shit because you're going to drown, you know what I'm saying? You're going to drown under that shit. All of that, Trump this and Trump. Listen, man, this is economy. This is an economic warfare and game right now, you know what I'm saying? And we don't get that shit because we're just workers. But if you get the real deal, like again, like you telling people, Trump got the second term. We think Biden gonna win? They got Biden right now. They got that Tara Reid story going on right now. Yo, because you know who that is, right? The chick who with the whole Biden shit.
Yeah, who said she supposedly he raped her or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So you know they said, okay, they can't find the paperwork of her, right? So they said her friend, she told her friend, and she told another chick back then, right? So they're like, okay, that's something else, right? Now they found a 1996 court declaration that's written by Tara Reid's ex-husband that shows that she spoke of harassment in Biden's Senate office. So now there's no question about this, because now you tell me in a 1996 declaration from her ex-husband, that's the one who's gonna be able to say that, oh, she said this this is what's already
third party.
Yeah, that's a third party from like, come on, like
and the situation now don't have nothing to do with those two, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I mean? It's outside of that.
That's why I'm looking at everybody that's thinking, we got to vote for Biden, you know what I'm saying, because we got to get Trump out. I'm like, if you think Biden could beat Trump, you are insane.
No, it's just people holding on to the whole, you know what I mean? That's all that is, man. Nobody realistically believes that Joe Biden is going to win. You're just holding on to it. It's like, okay, that's your job. Your job is to promote the Democratic Party or some shit like that. All right, I get it. But nobody realistically believes at this point in time. Like, I wouldn't think so. It's like, there's no way you could believe Joe Biden is going to fucking win anything. So.
Yeah, that shit crazy. When I seen that shit, I mean,
old Joe, good old Joe.
Oh, look, Joe being Joe, and then they'll talk over there and be like Roland Martin. Roland Martin would be like, and people, and Trump, he can't talk because he got his allegations or whatever, but Joe Biden, he don't got, like, one dude gonna say, because what Joe Biden got? What? 1? Maybe 2? But shoot, Trump got like 20, and I'm like, dude, this dude got a whole fucking litany of cases of where he's rubbing on women and little girls. Like, what are you doing?
Man, complaint.
Mad complaint. Mad complaint. And that's why I'm sitting over here, and I'm like, this is what you dancing around that shit, that weak shit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. But the fact that we even talking about that about him lets you know where he at with it. Like, that's what we talking about. Not anything he's trying to do, not his plans, none of that shit. A damn scandal. Like, he's gonna win. True. He has a chance.
Oh yeah. But like, now to talk about some strength, right? Let's talk about some armed black activists escorted a black lawmaker to Michigan's Capitol after coronavirus protests attended by white supremacists. Michigan lawmaker escorted by a Michigan lawmaker returned to the state capitol on Wednesday with an Army security detail following a coronavirus lockdown test at the building last week, attended by white supremacists and militia groups. Rep. Sarah Anthony, a Democrat, whose district is in the capital city, Lansing, told Yahoo News in an interview that her security detail, made up of local blacks and Latino activists, came together because the armed protesters bearing white supremacist symbols represented a different level of terror. According to Anthony, the April 30th protest was different from prior coronavirus protests that have occurred at the Capitol in recent weeks because many of the demonstrators stormed inside the building and were armed. Anthony also said some of the protesters had Confederate flags and swastikas, which he found extraordinarily triggering for me as an African-American woman. It was very intimidating environment, Anthony said. I've just never experienced being so frightened and so intimidated in my life. Anthony posted a video to Facebook, which he filmed as the protests raged outside. Members of her community responded, and when Anthony returned to the Capitol on Wednesday for the first time since the demonstration, She was escorted by a group of 6 black and Latino activists who carried their own guns. Large conservative organizations have helped back the anti-lockdown demonstration, which have taken place in at least 18 states around the country. Though the demonstrators are focused on pressing to lift coronavirus safety measures in order to boost economic activity, they have also attracted a wide variety of groups dedicated to other causes, including militia members, gun rights activists, and white supremacists. Even as the White House has issued social distance guidelines, the demonstrators haven't been doing that shit. But, wait, what is it? Anthony claimed one of her fellow lawmakers wore bulletproof vests due to her fear of the armed protests, many of whom streamed into the Capitol and angrily confronted officials. Yeah, so they're talking about that shit. But yeah, so these brothers and some Latinos, you know what I'm saying, they came up strapped up. You know what I'm saying? They came up strapped up and escorted her. So it was good because you're not going to see that shit on the news. You're not going to hear them talk too much about that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that should be black privilege. You know what I'm saying? That's like a black privilege. You talking about white privilege. You know what I'm saying? The sister was on there. She needed. She got threatened. You come escort her in, that's a privilege. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that we got to do in that community. It don't necessarily got to be that, but you know what I mean? We should be.
Nah, it can't be that.
We should be doing.
But it's just like
I'm saying.
We got to.
There's other ways to do it too. Like, also, is what I'm saying.
No. I'm just saying, like, we got to stop. Okay, you know what? Cause it's not like I'm just agreeing, but it's like we got to stop thinking that looking through. It goes back to the whole thing of looking through life through the eyes of the weak. We got to stop thinking that we can't do shit and start doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a situation where you seeing them, they coming up to with their guns to Congress or whatever like that. Shit, that's your
you would think
Congress
you can't even do that. You would think that we couldn't even do that shit. I got you.
Where you go up there and you represent too. When they sitting over here and buying up land and property, you go over there and buy up your fucking land and property too.
Michigan is open carry. I think Michigan one of the open carry states.
A lot of these is open carry states. But even that, strap up, black people, strap up. When you see white people have an increase of going to get their guns and shit like that, where you see them like lining up to get their guns, that's supposed to be the shit that lets you know, black people, go get your guns and strap up. That don't mean turn your guns in. That don't mean scream no. No. All you people, you hotheads. You know what I'm saying? Firecrackers that run around the streets want to shoot everything up and shit like that. Y'all supposed to be triggered up and say to yourself, good, now I got targets. Now I got shit for me to shoot up. You see what I'm saying? Instead of shooting at each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't sit there and say, let me look at life through the eyes of the weak. We can't. Because when you keep on saying you can't do something to the outside, subconsciously you're saying then you can do it inside. And that's why we turn everything on each other. Because we think there's nobody outside to turn nothing on. Everybody outside. And it's not just through violence, it's through economy. You're not supposed to sit there and feel comfortable seeing everything in your neighborhood that generates bread, you have no control over. And the only thing that you have control over in your neighborhood that makes bread will get you arrested for the rest of your life or killed. How crazy is that, Smoke? In your neighborhood, right? In some neighborhoods, the legal jobs is ran by people that's not black in your neighborhood. And the businesses that's ran by blacks, which is the underworld market primarily in these neighborhoods, will land you in jail for the rest of your life or murdered. So it's like
reality.
Stay away from money. It's a crazy reality. It's like money gonna kill you. Stay away from money. That's why we can believe money is the root of all evil, and that's why your mother, like, you know, on the TV shows, they'll show the. Think about it, because again, the only thing to get money is you got to do it wickedly. Because the other way, which is economy wise, you're boxed out of that. You're boxed out of the economy situation. So the only thing left is to do it wickedly. And we don't even peep that.
It's crazy how you sitting on your people.
And that's why we get stuck on that shit. That's why we get stuck on that shit. Because we don't get it, because it's that economy. You know what? I wish I could read this shit. You know what? Let me see. Can I read this shit? Let me see. Can I find this shit real quick? It's on my damn. There we go. All right. People don't understand the economy, right? So I'm on the Roland Martin page, right? So they're talking about, the title of it is "You Need Infrastructure to Fight Destruction." Reverend Barber on Diddy's leveraging black voting power. So this dude, he makes the comment that the only person that deserves to vote for black people is like Farrakhan. So this other dude, he goes, "No group has come to prominence through politics alone except the Asians," basically, right? So he say, but they don't got no, high turnout, voter turnout, none of that shit, but they richer than everybody else. Forget politics, go to work.
Right.
So I'm like, the Asians got an economy, you know what I'm saying? Black people don't. And, you know what I'm saying? And we're the only ones that don't understand the importance of having an economy in a capitalistic society. So then he's like, no one owns the economy. The economy is an invisible hand of millions of people buying and producing, including those millions of blacks. So I tell him the only way to excel in a capitalistic society is by having an economy. And if you don't have an economy in a capitalistic society, then you're going to be forever going to be working for somebody, a part of the working class, right? And you're going to be working for another race of people, right? This is going to be your reality. You're never going to be able to, they're going to control your unemployment, and all of that shit. I said, but the Asians, on the other hand, they do have an economy. So even, and this is what he don't understand, even if you got an economy, guess what? You can have Asians that work for other races.
Right.
Well, you can have that. Just like when black people having to build our economy, black people could still work for white people. It don't matter. But what happens is when you have an economy, you have an option. Because I apply for this black job company and I apply for this white company, if the white company hire me, okay, I'm hired. If the black company hire me, okay, I'm hired. That's why. Because if the white economy doesn't hire me, then guess what? There's nowhere for you to get no job. You see what I'm saying? There's nowhere for you to get a job. But if you have a black economy and a white economy that you're working through, then guess what? You have more options to work. You have more options to take care of your family. You got more options to take care of yourself. You're not a strain on society. You're not a strain even on a race of people. Well, you now have to beg
but also
people.
like the proceeds of it, because even if you work for a white company, It's about what you spend the money with. See, our problem is that we work for the white company, and then the proceeds we get for doing that, we gotta put it back. We put it back into white companies or other companies because there's a lack of our companies, and it's no black economy. So the proceeds from that is, but if we had one, it wouldn't really matter where you working at because you bringing it in. You're just making sure that you spend your proceeds with your people. You spend it there. You know what I'm saying? But it's like everything that we buy is normally for companies that ain't going to build up our cause. You know, they don't look like us. The kids that go to college or just have a good life off of it, they not our kids. They not our next generation. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that's really happening. We work for these companies, and then when we get the money, we get paid. We end up spending it, you know, back with white companies. So we really don't have no benefit at all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Then I looked at this other damn story right here. So I'm seeing that we coming almost on 14 minutes, 13 minutes in. Remember last week I told you about the Madagascar had their own herbal remedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the coronavirus.
Right.
So now here's the title right here. Madagascar coronavirus herbal mix draws demand from across Africa despite the World Health Organization's misgivings. Madagascar is putting its self-proclaimed plant-based cure for COVID-19 on sale, and several countries in Africa have already put it in order for purchase, despite warnings from the World Health Organization that its efficiency is unproven. Last month, President... You see?
So look at the angles between the two stories.
Ain't that something? Last month, President Andry Rajoelina launched the remedy at a news conference, drinking from a sleekly branded bottle filled with an amber liquid, which he said has already cured 2 people. On Friday, Tanzania.
Look what we got.
You know what I'm saying? While y'all sitting around over here dying like a motherfucking America and shit, we out here sipping on some scissors. On Friday, a Tanzania delegation arrived in Madagascar to collect their consignment. Now, here this, folks. On Friday, a Tanzania delegation arrived in Madagascar to collect their consignment. Now, Tanzania was the one that was complaining about the testing. They was like, yo, these testing is faulty, man. And now they got a delegation right there in Madagascar like, yo, bring us some herbal remedies. The tonic based on the plant Artemisia annua is spelled Artemisia space ANNUA, which has anti-malarial properties, has not undergone any international recognized scientific testing. While Rajoelina extols its virtues, the World Health Organization cautioned it needs to be tested for efficiency and side effects. Madagascar has been giving away thousands of bottles of COVID-19 organics developed by the state-run Malagasy Institute of Applied Research. Tanzania, Equatorial Guinea, Central African Republic, and Republic of Congo. African Republic, the Republic of Congo, and the Dominican Republic of Congo, Liberia, and Guinea-Bissau has also already received thousands of doses of COVID-19 organics free of charge. A legal advisor in the president's office told Reuters on Wednesday that Madagascar will now begin selling the remedy which domestically can be bought for around 40 U.S. cents per bottle. This remedy can put on the market. This remedy can be put on the market. Madagascar has already received orders from state authorities in other countries, but also from private individuals. Because that's something. Now, when I read that made me pay attention, because that's something that we don't know. We will sit here and we will listen to people say on the news, and this is, what kind of bush juice is this? We're not listening to this backwoods medicine from Africa. We're not listening to this shit. And then when the camera's cut off, they're like, yo, let me get 2 bottles. Yeah, let me get 2 bottles for me and my woman.
Also in the other article, they had said in the other article that no other countries have publicly complained about the faulty tests and shit like that. And it was referencing it to Tanzania or whatever. But then here, Tanzania, they on the other shit with Jack Ma, but they here to get some of this shit too. You know what I'm saying? Some of the organic junk. So you never know what these countries is doing and shit. Some of that shit might be public, but behind closed doors. You know what I mean? They might be saying one thing publicly, but they playing both sides. they like, yo, we over here with Jack Ma, but you gonna get some of this shit over here too.
No, you know how you can know that's true? Because you got to remember, everybody laughed at all them Trump people that listen to Trump and all kind of shit like that, right? About the, injecting this and, Lysol and all kind of shit. But then what happened?
Right.
Chris Cuomo and his family, liberals, CNN people, right? Governor of New York's sibling, he bathing in fucking Clorox, and they out there fucking taking all kind of shots and all kind of shit like that. So guess what? Those would be the first people that sit over there and be like, oh yeah, we'll take that potion, organic potion that the Africans made in Madagascar that I heard curing. They would be the first ones in line doing that. And black people would be last in line, because we'll be saying, oh no, the FDA didn't approve that. My doctor said that the World Health Organization. That'll be us. The Africans. That'll be us. The Africans of the diaspora will be saying, I'm not going to take what the Africans made because the white man said that it ain't approved. While the whites go and will take that shit. Because they're sitting over here now and like, yo, I ain't trying to die of this corona shit. You said that shit work? Let me go take a sip of that shit. We would not do that. We would sit there and take some shit that they tell you, this might kill you. I don't know. You ready to do it? Okay.
Yeah, side effects, nausea, stomach pain, headache, possibly death. They
be like, you got anything you got to say? So I got to take 2 in the morning on a full stomach.
Silent waiver.
That's it, son. So I saw with an accent, right? That's all we say. So, son, now the African says, yo, we made this from the herbs, from nature. You know what I'm saying? This right here going to cure you. You know what I'm saying? At the very least.
It looks like a bag of collard greens.
Look, we'll be like this.
Picture that guy.
I don't know about that shit, yo. I don't know about that shit. But you'll take some shit that'll fucking kill you, though. They'll tell you that shit'll kill you. We'll take that shit because a doctor, But this is legit. But remember, this is coming from a research center. This isn't coming from somebody's backyard.
But we spoke about this a couple of shows ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
We spoke about
a couple of shows ago, we talked about this research center, That's a legit research center. So for them to try to discredit it, why are you discrediting something when you ain't even come up with your own conclusion, your concoction?
COVID Organics is the name of this shit. COVID Organics.
Right, COVID Organics, Here's another one. This is a quick little story I'm going to say as we got 5 minutes left, right? After swift virus success, Vietnam set sights on post-pandemic business. After proclaiming success in containing the coronavirus, Vietnam is posting itself as a safe place to do business, capitalizing on demand from international manufacturers. Again, capitalizing on demand from international manufacturers, looking to diversify their supply chain away from China. Vietnam has reported a relative small 288 cases and 0 deaths, putting the Southeast Asian country on course to revive its economy much sooner than most others. According to public health experts interviewed by Reuters, given its fast response to the virus, we expect foreign investment to pour into Vietnam after the pandemic. So, again, black people, it's the economy, stupid. But we don't get that. Play the race game. We still want to play the white people love us and how they treat us game, when we need to be playing the position of power game. That's what we need to be playing. We need to be playing the game where we're trying to win. The Vietnamese are sitting over here like, yo, we had ours contained. Now we're going to open up our factories, and we're going to be showing, hey, we're open, we're for sale. Come on, bring all that shit over here. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to slowly strengthen the economy. Go ahead, Smoke.
Positioning, man. That's all it is. It's like, imagine the opportunities, you know what I'm saying, we would have as Black America if we had factories and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where we could say, hey, yo, we got factories here made in America. You don't got to go to Vietnam. You can employ people here, blah, 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 blah. That whole spill. Just any of these things. It's just basically you see, like, you got a whole country that's like, hey, let us take the bad and let's make something good out of it. This is what we can do now. Hey, we got low numbers here. Y'all guys come bring y'all manufacturing here, which means money for their, which means employees, you know what I mean, for that come from the country, they're gonna work there, they're gonna get paid, and that stresses their economy. So it's just like, okay, we don't have an economy. We've been talking about that forever, but you have to look at yourself and say, what can you do for yourself right now to position yourself? You know what I'm saying? After this whole pandemic shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what it is. I would say, just look at it on a personal level, and what can you do personally, maybe for yourself, your family, whoever, your community, you know what I'm saying, for positioning, So when this shit is over, the world go back to normal. Where, what will you do? You know what I'm saying? So you see what everybody else does.
Not all this crying and whining and shit. We need to be preparing for what are you going to do when this shit is over. Your next move. Don't be lackadaisy. Don't be sitting around waiting. Don't be just living off of whatever hustle or whatever thing that you can get off on. Nah, take this shit serious, man. Because when the real hit happened, because the real hit didn't happen yet. The real hit didn't happen. We're in what, 5? So we about to get into the second quarter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's halfway through the year. Then when we get into the third quarter, we're gonna be seeing all the shit from the previous, because every quarter is just previous data from the previous quarter basically. So what ends up happening is we're gonna have a lot of situations where once the economic numbers and shit come in, they're gonna be showing that, yo, this shit is really fucked up. And then once this shit get really fucked up, when you start to seeing how many, it's gonna be crazy. But we're not gonna be, a lot of us, not gonna say we're, a lot of us is not going to be in a position of power. And then when you're not in a position of power, you're going to be crying. But I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the ones who are going to be in a position of power. That's going to be the time to come up. This is the time when you say to yourself, damn, yo, I missed out on that last recession 10 years ago. Yeah, well, guess what? Make up all the mistakes and the shit you wish you could have did or you learned from before and get ready to do that shit now. Because now we're coming back to this return. You see what I'm saying? We're coming back to this return. And with that, we get ready to close this shit out. Got anything you got to say, Smoke?
You know, shout out to the caller, man. Thanks for calling in. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for calling in.
That was gold and shit to get that perspective from Singapore. You know what I'm saying? So much respect.
Exactly. And make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, go to that YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, you know what I'm saying, share. That's at In Black America Radio on YouTube, you know what I'm saying. And, yeah, just listen out for us, you know what I'm saying. We're trying to keep the perspectives focused and right and correct and, you know, new information and not the same narrative, you know.